There are some who walk away from love and find it following them like a shadow. There are some who turn their back on pain and cannot escape the ache. And there are some who try to ignore their calling and still hear it echo through their veins. If you have ever felt drawn to something greater than yourself, something beyond the mundane, then you have felt the call of destiny. But heeding that call is rarely easy. After all, destiny is not a destination, but a direction. It requires courage to move forward, faith to trust the unseen, and resilience to keep going even when the path ahead seems dark and uncertain. This is a tale of one such journey, a journey that began with a whisper and ended with a revelation. Let's get started. Long ago, in the heart of Persia, nestled between the mountains and the sea, lived a young man named Hassan. Hassan was not an ordinary young man. He had a spirit in him, a spirit that made him restless and uneasy. He would stare at the mountain peaks as if searching for an answer there. He would watch the sunset over the horizon, lost in thought. His heart ached with a longing he could not understand, and his soul seemed to remember a melody it had long forgotten. His days were filled with discontent, and his nights with dreams that offered glimpses of a world beyond his own. He felt a deep connection to the vastness of the universe, yet a profound disconnection from the life he was living. It was as if he was a bird with clipped wings, eager to soar but kept earthbound. He desired freedom, not just from external constraints, but from the invisible chains that bound his spirit. Deep down, he knew he was meant for more, but he didn't know what more meant. And so, he lived in a state of perpetual unease, caught between the life he had and the life he yearned for. And like a moth drawn to a distant flame, he searched for meaning in everything and nothing, hoping to find solace in the chase. Then one day, destiny intervened. As Hassan was wandering through the bustling marketplace, he heard the melodic strains of a ney, a traditional Persian flute made from the hollowed-out reed. The music was mesmerizing, pulling him closer like a magnet. As he followed the sound, he came across a dervish, a seeker of truth and a master of the ney. The dervish was not just playing the flute, he was embodying it. His eyes were closed, his body swaying, and his fingers dancing on the holes of the flute. The music flowed through him, and he became one with the instrument. The melody carried echoes of joy and sorrow, hope and despair, love and longing. It was a symphony of human emotions played on a single note. And as Hassan listened, he felt a deep resonance within him, as if the music was speaking directly to his soul. In that moment, something shifted within him. He realized that the restlessness he had been carrying for so long, the longing that had haunted his dreams, was not a burden, but a compass pointing him towards his true purpose. He understood that the music he had heard was not just a performance, it was a revelation. It was a call to action, a summons to follow his heart and embrace the uncertainty of the unknown. With newfound determination, Hassan approached the dervish, his heart pounding with a mix of excitement and trepidation. He had found the music that echoed his soul, but now he had to find the courage to follow its tune. What will happen next? You'll find out in this episode. But before we start, please take a moment to subscribe to our channel. If you're a fan of motivational stories, do not forget to hit the bell icon. Now, let's continue with the story. When Hassan finally found the courage to approach the dervish, he was met with a calm smile and knowing eyes. The dervish, sensing Hassan's inner turmoil, gestured for him to sit and listen. Then he began to speak, his voice as soothing as the music he had played. The music you heard, the dervish began, is the music of your soul. It has been calling to you, trying to lead you home. You have felt its echoes in your dreams and sensed its presence in your moments of solitude. Hassan nodded, tears welling up in his eyes. He had never heard these feelings put into words. He had never understood that his restlessness was a signpost on the path to his true self. But why? Hassan asked, his voice trembling. Why have I been searching when I could not see what I sought? The dervish smiled again, this time with a hint of sadness. Because, he said, we are all travelers in this world, journeying through life without truly realizing it. Many of us become so engrossed in the details, in the small troubles and fleeting pleasures, that we lose sight of the grand melody that guides us. He paused, letting his words sink in before continuing. Your soul remembers a place of wholeness, a place of light, a place of home. It is a place that exists beyond the confines of this world, a place where you truly belong. The dervish took a deep breath and looked up at the sky. Our task, my son, is not to find the way, but to remember it. It is to awaken the sleeping melody within us and let it guide us back to where we came from. Hassan sat in silence, absorbing the dervish's words. He felt as if a fog had been lifted, revealing the blurred path ahead. He realized that his journey was not just about finding something. It was about becoming someone. It was about shedding the layers of conditioning and societal expectations that had been obscuring his true nature. With renewed clarity and purpose, Hassan thanked the dervish and began his journey. He left behind the life he had known and started to walk towards the horizon, guided by the music of his soul. He did not know where his path would lead, but he no longer feared the unknown. He had found his melody, and he was determined to follow it, no matter where it took him. From that day forward, Hassan walked tirelessly. He walked through valleys of despair, and climbed mountains of challenges. He crossed deserts of loneliness and swam rivers of fear. But through it all, he never lost sight of his melody. It sustained him through the tough times, motivated him during the hard times, and gave him strength when he felt like giving up. He walked until he found a place where the mountains touched the sky, and the earth seemed to end at the edge of infinity. There he stood at the precipice of his journey, ready to take the final step towards his destination. As he stood there, he felt a sense of peace wash over him. He realized that the journey was not just about reaching a destination. It was about the transformation that had taken place within him. He was no longer the same Hassan who had set out on this adventure. He was now a seeker who had heeded his soul, his calling, and embraced the uncertainty of the unknown. The music that had started as a whisper in his heart had grown into a roar that echoed through his being. And as he took that final step, he knew that he had finally come home. The reed flute's lament is not a story of sorrow, but a celebration of homecoming. It is a reminder that our restlessness is a sign of our longing for home, and that our journey is guided by the music of our souls. Just like Hassan, we all have a melody within us that beckons us to follow it, even when the path ahead seems unclear. All we need to do is listen to that melody and trust that it will lead us home. The secret to a good life lies in understanding that whatever suffering we may encounter is only temporary. It's a phase, a chapter, a test. On the other hand, our true essence, our spirituality, our connection to the divine is everlasting. It's eternal. It's always with us, guiding us, comforting us, and reminding us that we are never alone. So when the road is rough and the shadows seem long, remember the melody that echoes in your heart and keep moving forward. For your journey is not about finding something, but about returning to your true self, to your spirituality, to your home. Trust in the music within you and let it be your guide.